What is the deal with moms drinking wine during their kids' play dates? Any opinions, Zach?
Sometimes you need a glass of wine when you're dealing with that many children at one time.
Okay. Said like a 26-year-old male.
If you're tired of the same old news,
What more do you want?
I want the truth.
You're hearing it. Strap yourselves in, folks.
never fear.
What's the dealio?
Part of life is learning to let things go.
We've got news moms can use.
What was that name again? I missed that.
News moms can use.
Are you ready for some news moms can use?
Absolutely.
Awesome. You can talk about this with me today. We here at the Channel Mom Show put together a news moms can use based on the stories that we think that moms want or need to hear. A lot of other news entities out there do not do that for you. They try to sell you the soap in the commercials, but they don't necessarily put together content that moms might want to hear. And we do that here. Okay. On Katie Couric's show not too long ago, there were two moms discussing a very provocative topic. Namely, Zach and I discussed it at the beginning of the show, needing wine while mothering your kids. On Katie Couric's show were two women, Marilee Borden, a Boston mom of two, who organized a Facebook page called Moms Who Need Wine, which reportedly has more than 650,000 followers. Also on the show, Stephanie Wilder-Taylor, a mom from Los Angeles, who used to enjoy a drink or two at Playdates, but gave up alcohol after a big wake-up call. And basically, I remember it because I watched a portion of the show where they were talking about this. She gave up alcohol because she realized she'd been driving her kids around while she was tipsy after Playdates. Ms. Wilder-Taylor commented, there are way more moms than you think that are a little tipsy. And apparently, an increasing number of moms say the secret to crossing everything off their to-do lists as moms is a little pill. An online survey showed that approximately 1 in 4 moms take prescription drugs to help with the pressures of motherhood. Some moms claim that it has made them better, more productive moms. Wow. I mean, I am not here to condemn anybody. I mean, that's part of the point of our show is to say, look, we're trying to tell you that there are certain ways to do motherhood well and that research shows this and this and this, and these things are going to work best. And my guess is that having to have maybe too much wine or too many pills to bring you to a place where you feel like you're a better mother, probably not a great choice, but I know there are moms who feel the pressure. And again, as I said, I'm not here to condemn people. I will have a glass of wine on weekend nights, but I'm pretty cognizant of the fact that my kids are watching. So I always try not to overindulge because I don't want to do that in front of my kids. And I gotta say, I don't remember ever feeling like I needed a glass of wine during my kids' younger years when they went to Playdates. I mean, we did not have wine Playdates. And that's kind of some of the stuff they were talking about in the show, that moms felt like they needed to take the edge off when they had Playdates with the kids, or later in the day when the kids were too loud, things like that. And I think, you know what, Zach, part of what I think the problem is that we're in a place in our society now where motherhood is so underplayed and so downplayed in contrast to all the other things that our society holds up as important, like having a job and pulling in a 6-figure salary and wearing the right kind of clothes and living in the right kind of house, so on and so forth. So moms don't really feel honored or helped or encouraged in their job as moms. So it feels more pressurized and more demeaned. And so they have a glass of wine to feel better about what they do as moms. I mean, what do you think of that theory?
I don't know if it's that. I do think that just a simple thank you goes a long way in any job. And certainly I think there's a certain faction of the population that doesn't believe that being a parent is a full-time job.
Right.
And that does detract some from feeling like you're appreciated and feeling like you're doing a good job. And does that increase pressure? I think for certain individuals, it certainly does. Certain moms, it certainly does. But a lot of that can be alleviated from just a simple thank you.
Right. Or for me, just feeling the love of my kids. Believe me, there are days on a Tuesday night where I think, I can see why people have a glass of wine about this time because I'm completely stressed out. But I will say 9 times out of 10, it's my kids who make me feel better. My daughter comes up and gives me a kiss, or my son comes up and gives me a big old hug or jokes with me, whatever it is. So I hope that moms can just get some joy out of motherhood, and it doesn't always have to be the wine that makes them feel better. Okay. Meanwhile, some news for moms who work out of the home. There could be a change coming in the corporate world. Yahoo CEO Marissa Mayer announced a change to company policy. Yahoo's sweeping edict against telecommuting is now being felt as a personal attack by some of the 2/3 of Americans who regularly work at home. Essentially, what Mayor came out to say was that they're no longer going to allow telecommuting. So some of the moms who work for that company can no longer work out of the home and do their work from home and, talk via computer and so on and so forth. So some folks took that personally. They talked about it on Cafe Moms. I think it's a video blog, The Stir, and moms there talking about how they depended on working at home to be able to balance family and work responsibilities. A lawyer, Shannon Higgins from Washington, D.C., found one line of the company memo outlining the policy change particularly offensive. Speed and quality are often sacrificed when we work from home, is what she quoted from the memo. I'm not sure if that's true. I'm not sure quality is sacrificed. But as somebody who works from home to do the show, it would bum me out if my company suddenly decided that that wasn't okay. But my company, ChannelMom Incorporated, is not deciding that. I mean, do you know people who work from home, Zach, that this would be upsetting to?
Yeah, absolutely. My girlfriend works from home a lot of times, and she does so because she's also in school full time. I guess I wouldn't equate that to being a mother, but certainly it's having other responsibilities that you have to do that keep you from being able to go into work full time.
Sure. But I still think you can do quality work from home. And some of those people, they work till midnight. They're so conscientious. I find myself working on the Channel Mom Show till late at night. So it's not that I sacrifice the work. It's just that I divide it with my family stuff and get it all done. And I feel like I'm just as efficient. Finally, quick news story before we're done with this segment. Melanoma risk drops 21% in women who take aspirin, according to a new study. So aspirin, once again, coming to the rescue, not only for our hearts, I believe, but also for melanoma risk. And I found that fascinating. So they say that basically new research has linked aspirin to a dramatically lower risk of developing melanoma, which is the fastest growing cancer in the United States. And this is all according to the Melanoma Research Foundation. So you might look into that, people who are prone to that. My family is actually prone to skin cancer. And so I was fascinated by that. I have some aspirin in a drawer and I'm tempted to go home and take it today. What do you think about that, Zach?
Can't aspirin also, though, harm some internal organs?
Yeah. Well, I think they say that whenever you take
doses,
it.
Obviously.
Well, and I think it causes the stomach bleeding or lining to bleed. And so that's a concern. And you got to balance all this stuff.
Sure.
But the fact, if you were predisposed to getting melanoma, my feeling is that you're going to find this fascinating. I'm going to look into it more. And I'm also going to see what the dangers are before I start taking aspirin by the handfuls to make sure that I don't get skin cancer.